Scrolling through the feeds, same old show. Creators playing safe, moving way too slow. Clickbait titles, they don't mean a thing. Tired of the spin, it's a one-note ring. The thumbnail's flashy, but the content flat. Same old song and dance, who needs that? Rinse and repeat like a broken record. Where's the realness? I'm feeling neglected. Come see the rolling toddies. Break the mold where the stories are real, where the truth is bold. No safety net here, just the wild and free. Like and subscribe, join the journey with me. Diving in deep with the facts on the screen. Liberal free thinking, if you know what I mean. Forget all the fluff, we're cutting the crap. Getting down to the nitty gritty, no time for a nap. I'm done with the chatter, need substance and spark. In a world full of echoes, be a shot in the dark. Come see the rolling toddies. Break the mold where the stories are real, where the truth is bold. No safety net here, just the wild and free. Like and subscribe, join the journey with me. Scroll through the moments, the laughter and tears. We conquer the silence, we face our fears. It's a reckless ride on this YouTube wave. Authentic connections, that's what we crave. So ditch the same old, let's bring the new. Real life stories waiting just for you. Unfiltered and raw, we're breaking the chain. Jump on the train, feel the passion and pain. Subscribe to the thrill, don't miss the chance. Rolling Toddies is where the real ones dance. Come see the rolling Toddies. Break the mold where the stories are real, where the truth is bold. No safety net here, just the wild and free. Like and subscribe, join the journey with me. Now's the time to rise, to amplify the voice. In a sea of sameness, we've made the choice. So hit that button, let's spark the flame. Rolling Toddies is here, remember the name. No more masks or shadows, let's step into light. With stories that matter, we'll rise up and fight. Come see the rolling Toddies.
Okay, welcome back. So, as the saying goes, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So I was thinking to myself, and on top of my recent events of Wi-Fi connectivity issues, I figured that maybe my console up there that talks to the internet, which talks to Weather Underground, was maybe too old to communicate with the newfangled Deco mesh type Wi-Fi systems and stuff like that. So finally got the thing to talk and get back online where it belongs. But in the meantime, I figured this for me, it's time to have a backup, because I always need a backup, because you never know when something's going to fail, and then you can just swap it out. So this holds true when I was running Davis Vantage View wireless weather stations. So when I wanted to get a weather station and put it online, of course, history and little Googling and stuff like that, you want to get the best that you can get. So at the time, if you wanted a weather station, you got a Davis, because it was supposedly the best that you could get. Well, for me, not so much. So I started out with, I think I had 3 or 4 Davis Vantage Views with the console, dual consoles, because I bought 2 consoles, one to go online and one to go in another room, which also serves as a backup in case console failed, which I have happened. So, like I go back to 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So, like I was saying, I started out with the Davis Vantage Views. I would put them up. They're on the gable end of the house. They're about 7 foot up in the air above the peak of the gable of the house, so you get the most accurate readings. That's the minimum clearance that the house roof won't affect the temperature readings and the wind speed and the direction and this and that and the other thing, blah blah blah. So they would be up there for several years, 2-3 years, and then all of a sudden they would just stop transmitting. You could see the little light underneath of it. If you're out in the dark, you can see the little light out in there, and it would pulse every couple of seconds and stuff like that. So you go out there at night, look up, and it's like you don't see anything. So you go up there with a big stick. Of course, where mine is, I got access with a window. You go up, push the reset button with a long pole, and sometimes it would come back, and most of the time it would not. So I would bring it down, try to reset it. It was dead. So I would contact Davis for a warranty claim repair, send it out. A month later, you would get it back, put it back up. A couple of months later, it would die again, and ship it back, wait a month, blah, blah, blah. So about the 3rd time, I says, you know what? This is going to keep continuing happen. I'll get a backup of the same console, or suite, as they would call it. And in case one failed, I'd have a backup, so I could keep continuing live streaming the weather data to, Weather Underground and stuff like that. So after the 4th time, I says, it kept dying. I says, let me try a different brand weather station. So I decided to go to of course, back at I don't think at the time Amazon was really as big as it was. I think I bought my current weather station from Ambient Weather, and that is what's currently in service right now. So it's the Ambient Weather, the WS-2000. So there's your price tag and stuff like that. This thing is still in production, so when I got it, I wasn't thinking about just getting another one, because I figured if I got another one for a backup, and with the current situation I had, last week, 2 weeks ago, with the trying to get the thing back up and running on a mesh network with various hours upon hours upon hours of trying to get it to talk again. I says, well, maybe, like I said, the thing's probably maybe too old and stuff like that. So I figured, well, I'll get a backup, of this, that, and the other thing. So I see that this was still being made, and it's still available as of today, because there's only so much that you can refine. And this thing has been out in the weather, and it's worked flawlessly. I have no problems with it, and I currently have no problems with it, other than a little snafu with the Wi-Fi with mesh networks. But this thing has been flawless. It's never missed a beat, based on what it is, and this is what I primarily transmit out to is Weather Underground. So it's got all your typical weather station sensors on it. It's got the wind vane, it's got the wind speed cups, it's got solar UV light measurement, the thermal hydrometer with radiation seal. So it's got the fan aspirated protective cover for the temperature and humidity sensors, because if you were to stick a regular thermometer or a thermometer with a probe on it, your readings get skewed. So you need something like that to get accurate temperature readings in direct sunlight and stuff like that. So rain gauge, bubble level, make sure that your sensor is level when you put this thing in, and the solar collector. So it's solar powered. It's got battery backup. Of course, being in a multi-climate environment that I'm in, I use the lithium cells, the Energizer lithium cells for backup power, and I have yet to have a message come up saying that the batteries are low or stuff like that. So it's got a decent, I would say, super capacitor to run it. So, like I said, I have no problems. It hasn't missed a beat, and so much like that. So, my only gripe with this particular model is the wind speed sampling rate is not as quick as with the Davis Vantage View, because it was basically instantaneous. So if you got a big wind gust, with a storm front or a cold front, a lot of the times, probably 95% of the times, you would miss it. The console would miss it, so you would always get a lot lower high wind speed and high gust wind speed, peak speeds. So, you would see other stations, like on TV and stuff like that, they had a lot higher wind speeds and stuff like that. So, that being said, I decided to say, well, I don't have a backup for that one. And based on that just a little flaw, it's not, for most people, it's probably not really a big deal, but I decided to upgrade. A backup and an upgrade. So I got this, I bought it from the Jungle site. We'll go over there and check it out. So this is, like I said, it's going to be a backup. I have really no plans on putting this up right away unless something happens to the current weather station, or it was going to be replaced if I could not get this current console back online, but I did. But like I said, it's always good to have a backup. So here's the backup weather station on the Jungle site. It's got all the bells and whistles, but on this particular one, it's got some additional little goodies that you can get for it, as in additional sensors. So here's all the specifications. You can go up here and go on the Jungle site yourself and look up all the specifications. So it looks exactly like my older model, but it's got the console itself is more adaptable to the external sensors that you can get for the thing, which is really I was kind of intrigued by, and decided to go ahead and purchase this one as a backup and an upgrade. So I was really interested in the additional sensors that you can get for it. So my peak interest in the sensors is the soil moisture sensor. That's always handy, and the outdoor wireless particulate monitor. So that's interesting. I never, my current setup doesn't have anything, and a lightning detector. And of course, if you got a pool, you can have a pool float and stuff like that. So this is a lot more advanced weather station. It does all the same things as my current model, but like I said, it's to have a backup just in case something fails, or just things out in the weather, 24/7, hot, rain, cold, snow. Eventually it's gonna fail, someday. But so all the good stuff and stuff like that, all the additional sensors. So you can have 8 additional temperature sensors and particular either one or the whatever the particular sensor is. So there's an indoor model and an outdoor model, and then of course various other different sensors and stuff like that. And so just a matter of everything is at a certain price and stuff like that. So it's all what kind of toys that you want, which is typical how much you want to spend on the thing. So maybe in time I'll start gathering the sensors, but like I was saying, my older model is currently still in production. This one is still in production, so I got a lot of time to get the sensors. So we'll do a little unboxing, take a look at the bits and pieces that come in it. And this is exactly how it was shipped from Amazon, right in the factory box. So, no additional padding or stuff like that. Not that it's needed. And of course, YouTube's complaining about buffering, but I watch the replays. I don't really see a lot of problems. So, and of course, it comes with a declaration that whatever this thing is made out of, if you live in California, you will automatically get cancer, which is typical. So, take this out of the box, slide it out of the box. If I can get it out of the box, come on out of the box. Come out of the box. Well packaged. Probably got shifted around from shipping. Being very difficult to come out of the box. I like to preserve the box for storage purposes. There. My God, that was absolutely ridiculous. So there's my prize. So we got the destruction manual. So you're going to have to install this on a pole. So ideally you want to install these things out in the open somewhere, if you have the environment to set it out in the open. So if you're surrounded by fields, more power to you. You don't have to go up on the roof and set it up. But if you're in an urban area, you definitely have to have it up high. And like I said, the minimum for these things are about 7 feet above the peak of the roof to get your most accurate readings. So, and of course this thing, it goes on, you can pair this up with cameras and pair it up with your different weather media and stuff like that. So here's your optimal placement. So anywhere between 7 and 10 foot. So they updated the stuff like that. So you definitely don't want it, hanging off your backyard fence, because, you ain't gonna do yourself any justice to get accurate readings. But that's upon you how you want to install it and stuff like that. So it comes with a couple of different accessories and stuff like that, and here's all the optional sensors. So indoor quality monitor, wireless outdoor quality monitor, and then the wireless indoor. So I guess one is wired and the other two are wired, indoor, outdoor. Of course, you get a thermal hydrometer sensor, soil sensor, lightning detector, leak detector. I think you can have up to 4 different leak detectors. So if you get if you have something burst in your crawl space or your basement or cellar, you can at least be notified. And being that this thing is Wi-Fi transmitting, you can have an alert brought out to you. And then, of course, the different sensors, temperature, humidity sensors, you'll have to do set dip switches for the particular channel so you don't have the two things crossing each other. So stuff like that. And then all the consoles. So nice. It's got a nice color console that gives you the your various connections. So mine will be Weather Underground. Of course, you can hook it up to Weather Underground, Ambient Weather, the Wi-Fi signal, and outdoor sensor. Tell you if the battery's low. The signal quality of your outdoor console. Of course, it gives you the high, low outdoor temperature and everything else, blah, blah, blah. Of course, if you can read it through the washed out camera quality. And of course, all the different sensors. So I'm kind of looking for the sampling rate of the wind speed. That'd be interesting. Should be specifications here somewhere. Of course, once it's set up on Wi-Fi, it would automatically calibrate its time. Of course, all the credentials you'll have to enter to get on Weather Underground or Ambient Weather and stuff like that. Of course, it holds a complete weather history. Of course, you can calibration and reset of particular items. Calibration, more calibration. So there's a lot of calibration out here. So you'd have to have a professional tool to do some of this calibration, or at least set it up where all your stuff is within reason of your other stuff. So let's see, accuracy, resolution, indoor temperature anywhere from 14 to 140, outdoor to minus 40 to 149. That's with lithium batteries. I don't think you're going to get outdoor backup anyway, minus 23 with alkaline batteries. Usually they start crapping out about 20 above zero. Lightning, solar, rain, wind direction. So the update rate is about 16 seconds. And I don't remember what the my current one is at, but I know the wind speed is quite a little off. And I think there's a buffer inside the suite that every time it does its 16-second outburst, it gives you all the general readings at that current time. But I remember reading somewhere on my current one where the wind speed, because I compared it with the Davis, and I was quite disappointed in the wind speed update interval. So I was like, well, I'll just live with it, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. So we got all the hardware for mounting the various parts, the weather vane and the wind speed cups, and of course the hardware for the pole mounting. And then we got other bits that we'll have to dig out. Here's the console. So one of the deals where it's a nice color display. And then I'll have to, I do want to have an additional console, so I'll have to get another one of these consoles. Or if I don't care about this particular one, you can always, there's always something that you can match up to with the consoles. Don't forget to register to connect your other thing, blah, blah, blah. So that's the console. So typical 5 volts, blah, blah, blah. Does it come with a battery backup? No. So it's just a plain Jane receiver. Because my other one has, oh, it's got an SD card slot for storage. That's cool. My other one don't. So my other one has a AAA battery backup just to keep the time and stuff like that. So that's that. So here is the wind vane. So that gives you your direction. Of course, everything is taped shut. So there's your weather vane. So this is set on with a set screw. So that's why they give you the very small Phillips screwdriver to mount that. You want to make sure you tighten it, but don't crush it, because you might crack the plastic. So same thing here. It's got the set screw for the wind cups. Then we got the power supply. So your typical wall wart with its proprietary connector. So that's that. Start putting some of this stuff on the floor. And then here's one of the, this would be one of your remote sensors that you put somewhere. So this one runs off of 2 AA cells, and you can set the temperature Fahrenheit or Celsius. It's got a little keyhole, screw hole to hang this up somewhere. So that is that. So that I think, oh, here's the rain cup. So this is the rain funnel for this. So everything gets funneled here. So in the event, I don't think this one comes. It's probably an option that you can buy. So it's got a debris filter, but it doesn't, this particular one, and I think it comes standard with my other one. It comes with a anti-bird, so they don't land on the cup or build a nest in the cup. So I got that up on mine, and it's worked flawlessly, keeping the birds out and stuff like that. So this is the debris cup. This is to keep, you know, small stuff out from going down in the hole and blocking it. So that's that. Of course, like I said, I think the anti-bird thing is an option. Or what some people have done was just take a bunch of zip ties and zip tied and have the tail sticking up. So that's a little option to consider. But I'll probably just get the, probably take the other one off my other one. And then the main sensor itself. So this is exactly like my old one. So here's their little tipping spoon for the rain sensor, and it comes down right in the middle of the fan aspirated temperature sensor, so it just drips off whatever side it decides to drip off on and stuff like that. So under here is the reset button, and then the battery backup that you install underneath that plate. So I ain't gonna open it because I don't want to power this up. So under this sticker is a solar panel. It tells you right here on the, of course, this is the UV sensor. Right here, it tells you north. So you're you need either your phone or an old school manual compass and face this to the north. So in my particular area, this is facing north. So your rain collector is going to face north, and then of course one side is your wind speed. So this is the wind speed side, and then the wind direction stuff. So I think that's about it for show and tell. And then underneath here is the little mounting area for your pole mount. So we'll stick that back in there. And of course, since this is here now, I won't bother putting all that other stuff in there. Just have to remember where everything went. Little sensors and stuff like that. Like I said, so when you're tightening to your pole mount, make sure you don't make sure it's secure, but you're dealing with plastic, so make sure you don't crush it and destroy the see, I think this guy went like that. Just don't crush the plastic, and because the more than likely the plastic is going to shrink over time, and if it's too tight, you'll crack it, and then one good wind gust in the distant future, and your whole weather suite is going to go flying like a flying saucer, where it probably more than likely hit the ground and smash. So we will take this off. We'll plug that in temporarily just to see what the display looks like. Should look pretty good. A little bit of eye candy. Okay. So, since my plug isn't currently in use, we'll have to do the power meter here, and then we can plug into that. So let's see, and of course all the information on the console here. It looks like it's got a PC connection, and like I said, looks like it's got an SD card slot. So it has to boot. Oh, that's a nice display. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Oh yeah, you can. So that's a nice looking display. And of course, all the information. So some stuff is trying to come up online. So this guy was made in 2024, because that's the minimum a year. Of course, this guy is going to be looking for Wi-Fi and stuff like that. And of course, it has to be set up for the console. It has to be paired. So from what I see here, looks like we got rain here, and it gives you all the information without having to push the buttons. Kind of like my old system, you got to push the like the rain button to get your event, hourly, weekly, monthly, and yearly rain totals, and then it gives you the current rain rate, inches per hour, you know, when you get them big gully washers. So it actually looks like it actually is receiving from the console. So I don't know if that's the Wi-Fi. I don't think that's the Wi-Fi. I think that's the console. Yeah, it's definitely the console. They're already starting to talk. So that's pretty cool. I don't think there is a little light. Yeah, there is a little light. There's a little LED right here on this leg. That's probably flashing every couple of seconds. So that was from me spinning the dial, the weather vane and stuff like that. Believe it or not, oh, I know what this thing's talking to. It's talking to my current one. Because it is 35.8 degrees outside. And there's the wind speed. I was wondering, I was like, why is it reading the outdoor temperature? So this thing actually picked up my current weather station. That's pretty cool. So it feels like 35.8. The wind speed is 0.7 miles per hour. 0.2. Dew point is 35 degrees. Humidity at 98%. Winds 10 minutes average. Of course, it hasn't run long enough, this console, to get the all the averages. The 48.0, this is the solar radiation. So watts per meter squared. So that's starting to come up. Very cool. That's amazing. It's picking that up. So at least I got a spare console in case I need, in case one of my current consoles drops dead. Because my current console is the one in here is the only one that talks to Weather Underground because it's Wi-Fi. And the other one that I got in the other room, that's just a dummy console. It just picks up whatever information. It doesn't have any Wi-Fi capability, so it just displays whatever the station is talking about. So very cool. I'm actually surprised that it did pick up the current one that's running. So I was like, where's it picking up this information from? It's like it's got to be talking to the. Of course, it is 915 megahertz. These two stations. So if you had couple of these, if you had somebody else close by, you would probably have to change the channel number. Like if, let's just say my neighbor was doing this overview and he fired up his console and it started talking, and he was like, wait a minute, he knows damn well that thing is dead. Why is it communicating? Like, oh, it must be the neighbors. Oh shit, I gotta change the channel. So that's sometimes, but that's more of a local problem that you would have to discover on your own. So that is that for show and tell of the new backup console with additional goodies that I can get for it, which I'm kind of excited to start gathering. So we'll put this back in the box, and we'll put this in for storage. Because like I said, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Because you never know. So I can say that the ambient weather stations are. I've had good luck with the current one that I got. So we'll put that back in the box. And we'll put the manual back in, so in case I need to refer to it. Of course, I'm stuck in one spot. So we'll put this good stuff back in. Protect your investment so you get an additional 1-year warranty. But since they come from Amazon, we get the forever warranty. So as long as this damn thing is made, and if it craps out, you just get another one. And then return the one that's broken. That's why they call it the Amazon Forever Warranty. And yes, I have used it along with countless of other people. Get rid of that stuff. So, our other subject. So we'll have to, I'll probably more than likely split this up in individual videos after this live stream is done and processed. We're going to talk about a little bit about hair care. So for all you gals and girls out there that, you know, have long hair, or guys, of course, what I'm exposed to is a lot of particular contamination and stuff like that. So I was looking for a replacement clarifying shampoo. So I first started using clarifying shampoo. I would use Redken. So Redken, you know, it's salon quality. Of course, it comes with salon quality pricing, but it works and stuff like that. But as time went on, and of course, you know, you only got a few places where you can buy actual Redken. Some of your Walmarts that had a built-in salon, they carried Redken. You could go in there and get it. Of course, you can always get it from Ulta and Ultra Beauty or Sally's, depending on how stocked it is, and of course Amazon. But a lot of the time, you know, if you bought it from any other place other than Amazon, you always waited for the Redken sales, so you could get it, you know, 50% off and stuff like that. But as time went on, them sales got further and further longer length times between the sales. So, you know, you would always have to wait at least once or twice a year to wait for them sales. So I was looking for alternative clarifying shampoos to get all the trash out, and especially my hair. It's I'm exposed to a lot of contaminants. Also, it's I'm not a redhead, so I'm color treated. I, of course, exposed to contaminants. It gets dirty. I don't wash my hair every day. You know, at least I wash it like twice a week or something like that. Maybe 3 times a week if I'm really get grunged up and stuff like that. So, being that it is color treated, I do use like a little topper color treatment that gives it the real extra red in it. Right now, almost in the transition of another coloring from Esalon. So Esalon takes care of the roots and stuff like that, and the topper takes care of the rest of the red and stuff like that. But like I say, I needed an extra. Looking for another source of a good quality clarifying shampoo. So I tried a little bit cheaper brand, and it was just like a regular shampoo and stuff like that. So looking around, I'm looking for something that is relatively inexpensive, but you get a lot, you know, like a quart. Because, you know, a lot of these places that they give you, you can buy the good stuff, but it always comes in like little 8-ounce bottles and stuff like that. And it's like, you look at the price per ounce, it's like, holy crap. So I happened to stumble on Keragen. So I just happened to try this out, and I absolutely love this particular clarifying shampoo. So let's go over to the Jungle site and check it out. So here it is, the at the Jungle site. So Keragen clarifying shampoo with keratin and collagen. So I've had in the past, I have given myself keratin treatments. Have never gave myself a collagen treatment, so I really don't know much about the collagen. But as for the keratin, I have a little bit of experience of that. So 32-ounce deep cleansing, purifying, refresh and reset damaged color treated hair, removes buildup residue from scalp. So all the good stuff. And look at the price for a 32-ounce bottle, $22. I mean, if you were to get the same thing from Redken, it's basically, it was like, it's over 50 bucks, which is, you know, it gets expensive after a while. You know, especially if you use it, you know, once or twice a week. So I just happened to started using this last week, and this stuff is awesome. I mean, it takes all the trash out of your hair. You'd be amazed on how much your hair collects dirt and whatever, especially if you're using like leave-in conditioners and, like I said, the color toppers and oils and stuff like that to keep your hair all nice and pretty and like what I got, you know. And of course, heat styling and stuff like that. The first time I used this stuff, I figured, so I gave myself ample enough, and I did all my work and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, it's like no suds. I was like, bizarre, but as time went on, as I'm in the shower, I'm watching all this stuff just run off of me. I'm like, wow, amazing. The dirt and the grime and of course the little bit of the topper coming off and stuff like that. So I decided to do it again and give myself a second treatment. And it was like, wow, my hair feels so clean now as what you're going to feel. So you wash it out, you're going to run your fingers through your hair. You're going to be like, it feels like straw. It's all dry. It's nasty. It's not like like my old stuff or something like that. That's how this stuff is supposed to work. It's supposed to strip everything. Yes, it's going to strip all your oils out. It's going to strip all your leave-in conditioners, your hairspray, your gels, everything that you stuck in your hair. It's all going to come out. It's going to leave your hair as a brand new canvas for whatever you're going to put into it. So I would use my normal shampoo and conditioner, which is from Curlsmith, because I don't always straighten my hair like this. Usually I just leave it natural and let the curls fly, you know, and stuff like that. So I says, I'm impressed with that. Let me try their shampoo and conditioner combo. So yesterday was the first time I used this on this. So let's go over to the Jungle site and check it out. And another product that is not, you know, stupidly priced like your normal salon quality products, which, you know, work depending on what it is. Of course, everybody has to do their own experiments to see what works with their hairstyle and hair type and this and that and the other thing. So, you know, I can't tell you that what works for me is going to work for you. So here it is, the smoothing shampoo and conditioner with keratin and collagen for all hair types, sulfate free, 32 ounces, moisturizes, strengthens, protects color, and repair. So it's got all the good stuff in it that you need and nothing that you don't. So, and you look at the price for the shampoo and conditioner together is, you know, 56 bucks. So, you know, a little over $25 for 32 ounces. And like I said, it's relatively inexpensive and it works. It's just awesome. So you can read all the, of course you can pause if you're reading, watching the replay and stuff like that. And all the good stuff that's in it. And of course, the place has got, you know, a full line of this, that, and the other thing. So all I can say is that this stuff works. It's fairly inexpensive. What more could you ask for? You know, so can't really go on Amazon reviews and stuff like that, you know, because everybody's going to be different. You're going to have the people who love it. You're going to have the people who hate it. And that's just the way it is. You know, it is what it is. So, good stuff. I love it. What more can you ask for? So, like I said, tried this out for the first time. So, being that it was a trial to see how it was. Now, they do sell the smaller bottles, like 8 ounces that you can sample, but I just happened to go out on the deep end and try it out. So, started out with the clarifying shampoo, got all the trash out, got that nice straw, dry canvas, and then I put this stuff in, the shampoo. So, lather it up, all nice and stuff, let it sit for, a duration, blah, blah, blah. Rinsed it out, and of course, you run your fingers through your hair, and you're like, wow, it's still like straw. I wasn't really worried about that. I says, this stuff's doing what it's supposed to do. It's penetrating your hair with all the good stuff. So all the keratin, the collagen, all your vitamins, all the oils are going in your hair deep in the shaft because your cuticle is open. So all that stuff's going to go in and start doing its thing. Then you follow up with the conditioner. That closes the cuticle. You run your fingers through your hair and you're like, wow. And even with your hair wet, it's butter soft. I've never had such results with a product. I was amazed. So, with that, of course, being a long curly hair guy, I always suffer from dry hair. So, my preferred leave-in conditioner is the Curlsmith. So I've tried several different leave-in conditioners, from the store-bought stuff to a little bit better stuff like Diva Curl. Tried some other stuff from Redken and stuff like that. Nothing really satisfied my hair. But this stuff, the Curlsmith, the curl conditioning oil and cream, freaking awesome. And on top of that, before I do add that, of course, like I said, I do heat style this with just the heat brush. That's all I got, and this is the result I get. So I mix a leave-in conditioner. I think it's a leave-in conditioner. It's a treatment. It's a color heat styling cream that you put in. You know what I mean. You girls know what I mean. So, a couple of pumps of this, mix it with this, do all the distribution, do the heat styling, and this is what you get. This is what I get. So, it's not perfectly rock straight, which I don't really care if it's perfectly rock straight. It's got a little curl on the ends, but it's butter soft, smooth, and let me tell you, when I'm running my styling brush, so this is my styling brush. So if you gals know, you probably got the same thing. When you run your brush with certain products in your hair, you're kind of like to get it to go through. With this stuff, the whole complete kit that I got, or made myself my own kit from Keragen, it almost just goes through. I have to put so little effort of going through my hair. I was amazed. I'm still amazed. So, with that said, all that talk about the keratin and collagen and stuff like that, the smell of it. So this stuff's got a little bit of kind of like a floral, fruity smell to it. It's nice and pleasant. It's not overly in your face, So here's my experience. 2 hours after you dry and style your hair, you're going to notice, and if you had a keratin treatment, a Brazilian keratin treatment in the past, you're going to remember that smell. There's a particular smell when you have a Brazilian keratin treatment that you will never forget. So for me, my experience, about 2 hours after I styled it, you start sensing, you start smelling that keratin treatment, especially if you heat style it, because you set that in your hair. So there is a faint. I would say if you gals would remember this, about, and you know, if you've probably all done it, you get a keratin treatment, you know damn well that you're not washing your hair for at least as long as you can, because you want that rock straight hair. So if you kind of remember day 2 or day 3 after your keratin treatment, you know the first day 2, it's like, whoa, in your face. But this is a mix of a floral, fruity with a keratin treatment smell. I can still smell it. And this is actually the day after. I can smell that keratin in there. Especially, like I said, like for me, I heat style it. So that keratin, it's doing its thing. And then for my final regimen, I do use a hair oil. So I use hair oil for men. So this is the Viking Revolution hair oil. So this is argan oil and vitamin E. Good stuff. Penetrates, doesn't leave your hair all greasy and nasty and stuff like that. So there. So, like I'll be cutting this video up just to have this particular segment for my female audience, because I know they watch. I got a pretty high female audience viewership, which is kind of amazing. Probably higher than most, probably because of the hair. So that is that. So I'll just quickly go over the regimen again. I only wash this mop twice a week. Keragen clarifier, Keragen shampoo. It will still feel like straw, dry, but that's what it's supposed to feel like, girls. All the good stuff is going in. Then you follow up with the conditioner. That closes everything up tight. And then you can literally run your fingers through your hair wet. And it's going to be like your hair is on ice. Your fingers are ice going through your hair. It just slips right through. Follow up with a heat protectant / styling cream. I mix it with the leave-in conditioner cream. Blow dry it. Leave it natural. If it's natural, I'll put like a Curlsmith hair gel in. Let it air dry. Blah, blah, blah. If I want to straighten it, I'll straighten it without the hair gel. And then once it's dry, follow up with a little hair oil and wait a couple of days before I do it again. So there you go, gals. That's my regimen, my new regimen. So I'm still a big Curlsmith guy. I still use that the shampoo, I don't know, what do you call it, conditioner. So I still use that. That's still awesome. But that stuff on Amazon, it seems like you can only get it on Amazon. I don't know where else you could get it, but like right now, it's out of stock. So I'm glad I got 2 bottles of that. But it's expensive. This is not expensive, and it works. Well, for me anyway. You gals can get the smaller bottles and trial it yourself. So, okay, we'll separate that segment now. So, the only thing that let's see, what else I got to offer for this particular live stream. You see right here, kind of hiding underneath the meter here, is another torch. So, I had, of course, Insidious Nixies. He kindly gifted me a Olight. So this is the P-Run 2, and this is a right angle light. So it's meant to be hanging off of you like this, or straight out like that. So this is a magnetic charging, runs off a 21700, I believe. Yep, 21700 700. So this is going to be the new normal for torches now. So I think the 18650s are going to very soon, within the coming near years, start to be phased out for torches, and they're going to start using the because your storage capacity, you can only store so much energy in an 18650. So I think the maximum that you get is 3600 milliamp hours. That's as much energy you can pack in a can that big. So that's why these torch companies are starting to go up in size with the 21700s, because you can go up to about 5000 milliamp hours. So a couple of months ago, I bought a right angle torch that ran off an 18650. It had all the bells and whistles in it. I dropped it on the floor, and the freaking optics scattered. I was able to find most of them. I did not find the there's a spacer in there that kept the reflector from bouncing back and forth. So I kind of ruined it and stuff like that. So I decided to get another one that was the same specifications, but this one has a spot and a flood mode in it. See, you can probably see it in the optics. So the big white ring with the yellow splotches is actually a COB, and then you got the main torch light in the middle. So this is a spot and floodlight combination, and right angle or straight job. Runs off of 21700 cell, has a magnetic base, USB-C charging, and very simple operation. So comes with a MacGyver lanyard, comes with a clip. Like I said, it's right angle and has detents of anywhere in the middle. So whatever you want to position this at. Very simple operation with no silliness unless you specifically want it. So push and hold to, so if you push and hold, and not push and hold, but if you push the button, depending on where you had it last, what mode, either flood or spot, it's going to go back to that mode. And you always start off on low. Of course, it has a little battery indicator. Green for good, orange for you're getting close, red you're almost dead, and I think it flashes red when you're just about dead. So always starts off on low. Of course, in this room it's stupid bright, but you get the gist of it. You can kind of see it. Then medium, a little bit brighter, and then on high. So that's full flood mode. Now if you want to switch over to flood spot, push and hold the button, and you go to spot mode on low. And then you go up the ladder. So low, medium, high. Quite impressive. Now you don't get the two of them together. That's not an option on here, unfortunately. I wish it was, where you could have both on at the same time. That would be pretty cool. But the spillover on a spotlight is it's more dominant than the regular flood mode. And then push it again, it goes off. So anytime it's on and you want that silly strobe mode, you push the button quickly 3 times. So if you want that, push and hold 3 times. And then you get the SOS mode with the next click over. And then the next click, you go back over to the torch mode with your various light levels. So you get 3 light levels. So very nice to have a torch that has that simple function, unlike certain torches like this one, where you start off on high. If you want to shut it off, you can't. If you push and hold the button, all you do is go to your next mode. So you got to cycle through all this silliness just to shut it off. So I like that feature on this particular one. I wish they all had a simple on-off with a simple interface to get it to switch modes and stuff like that. So this is that kind. So let's see if I brought that up on Amazon. I don't think, no, I didn't. So there's that. So this is the MyJomi. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Give me the cursor. Thank you. This is the S701. S701. So, gotta come back over to OBS. Switch over to desktop. So there is your current torch that I'm showing off. So normal price is $41.99, and if you click the coupon, you get an additional 25% off. So not a bad price for a 1300 lumen with a, I believe, 500 lumen. So 1300 lumen spot, 500 lumen floodlight, and it's a right angle job or a straight job with USB charging, magnetic base, and clip in a MacGyver cord. So not bad price. So do light sources, blah, blah, blah. Spotlight, 1300 lumens. Should run 4 hours. Medium's 300 lumens. Should run 7 hours. Low is 100 lumens for 22 hours. Of course, it has the strobe and SOS mode on it. I would assume that would also run the 22 hours. Then the floodlight mode, like I said, 500 lumens, it'll run for 4 hours. And I believe it's a 4,000 milliamp battery cell in there. Of course, you can get an aftermarket one. I think the biggest ones are like 5,300. So that'll give you a little bit more runtime if you stuff a little bit higher capacity battery in it. So that's pretty cool. And then all your specifications here, that blah, blah, blah. Of course, make sure you, yes, it did come, warming tip. There is a protective film on the lens and in the tail cap to keep the thing from turning on. So make sure you peel that protective film off the flashlight head and take the insulator out of the tail cap to keep the so you can power up and charge your light. So make sure you take the cover off of that and unscrew the tail cap and take out the little insulator, and then your torch is ready to go. So there's all your specifications based on 4,000 milliamp cell, which comes in it. So it's a pretty cool little torch. I like it. So there's not much in the right angle jobs to compete with this guy. There's only a couple of different guys. So here's your other insulator. Make sure you take that out. So they gave you all the warnings. So if you don't follow it and your flashlight don't work, it's on you. So not a bad torch. I like it. Of course, we won't go through the Amazon reviews because that's a mixed bag of worms. So there. Go back to the OBS here. Go back to the main camera. So that's that. Anybody on? Nobody's on. That's sad. So they'll watch the replay. That's fine. Of course, I'll have to, like I said, for whatever reason, YouTube takes your sweet time processing videos, like 24 hours. So I'll have to wait 24 hours to cut. And I do my cutting of the videos on YouTube now. I'm too lazy to put Final Cut on this laptop. I don't want to. Too much work. Then you got to re-upload and all the other crap. Let YouTube handle it. They got the horsepower. So, what in the world is going on here? Must be an OBS thing. So it's giving me this is how screwed up this program is. So my Wi-Fi status bar is in the red with 1 bar. And normally my kilobits per second is like between 6,000 and 7,000 kilobits per second. This thing is saying it's pumping out 11900, yeah, 10,900 kilobits per second. Freaking OBS. Come on, OBS. You need to figure it out. But who really knows? So that's that. So that was a good live stream. Of course, being that is the week of Halloween, I'm in full Christmas mode. So I brought out a lot of stuff. Of course, I'm setting up new stuff. Well, basically 3 strings. I did find out that the RGB green color fairy lights that were in glass G40 bulbs, they're still in water. The water has not evaporated from them, but they still work, sort of. They're not happy over it. As soon as I plug them in, like 2 minutes later, all the glass envelopes are all fogged up. So I know damn well that little circuit board in it is not conformal coated, so it's just a matter of time. They're going to fail, so I'm not even going to entertain putting them out. I'll put them new lights out that I bought 3 boxes of. What's YouTube complaining about now? Oh, buffering again? Now I'm back at 6,600 kilobits per second in the green. Weird, but it's YouTube. So full Christmas mode. Did have to order some stuff. For whatever reason, I had a complete brain fart and did not order enough socket washers for my new strings of C9 filament style lamps. Bought the bulbs, bought the accessory bulbs, the flashing twinkle. Very nice, actually. And the red and yellow flex filament from Pro Christmas, not wintergreen. So I tried a new brand. There was a little. Here's the thing with Christmas, Christmas designers and Christmas lights, etc. Depending on what you're buying, determines the price. Because I'm going to assume it comes from the same factory. They just slap a different sticker on it. Christmas designers, Christmas lights, etc. It's the price thing. So one place is going to have a better price than the other, especially with like them big, long 3-foot, 24-inch, 12-foot snowfall tubes that I bought that are C9 based. Christmas designers had a better price than Christmas lights, etc. Same thing with the flex filament C9 replacement creative lamps. Christmas designers had a better price than Christmas lights, etc. But Christmas lights, etc. had a better price on C7s for flex filament when I bought the red and white ones. So one of them bizarre things. But I can get the socket washers for C7, C9 cheaper on Amazon than either one of them places. So you've got to do a little shopping around. So we had another awesome live stream of 4 brief viewers. So for those who watched the replay, thanks for watching. Of course, nobody live really watched for long enough for me to even honor you. So for those who watched the replay, thanks for watching. Of course, I'll be cutting this up for the hair care routine, maybe the weather station, and maybe this torch here. and then I'll have 3 more videos to drive everybody nuts with. So for those who watch the replay, thanks for watching, and it'll probably be a little while before I do another live stream, because it's, like I said, it's full Christmas mode at the end of this week, October 26th. So once Saturday rolls around, November 1st, it's full Christmas mode. Short Christmas season this year, because Thanksgiving is on the 27th. So it's going to be Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's over. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.